This video will go over advanced tips for entering chain of custody data. It will include what to do if you have multiple field blanks from the same day, how to determine the lot number, and how to enter more unusual blanks. Go to Tools, Data Submission. Choose the correct project and event, and choose Field Sampling. We've already created a file to work on. Please refer to our Field Sampling ChemField entry tutorial for the basics of how to create a ChemField file. This video is linked in the description. Click Edit File. As shown in our Field Sampling ChemField entry tutorial, the user can select samples to be qualified by a field QC such as an ambient blank, an equipment blank, or a trip blank by clicking the Add Field QC button. For this example, we will say that we had one team member collect the first two samples, and another team member collect the rest. Because of this, we will have two equipment blanks, one from the first team member and one from the second. Let's select the first two samples and click Add Field QC. The date for the first blank was January 15th, 2017 at 4:45 p.m. We'll select equipment blank from the dropdown and name it EB-1_JAN17. This name follows the best practices for naming conventions found in the FUDSChem user guide. It includes an indication of the QC type, EB for equipment blank, a number, 1, and a timeframe indicator, Jan17, for January 2017. All samples, including QC samples, must have unique names across events. Field sample IDs cannot be reused in subsequent events for the project, so the timeframe indicator is an easy way to distinguish samples from event to event. Let's continue by selecting the analysis method. Click Insert Field QC Record. Most of the fields will be automatically filled out for the equipment blank to match the selected samples. However, sampling method will need to be filled out by hand. We'll enter G for grab sample in this example. The two samples that were selected have the EB lot column populated with a reference number. The same would apply for ambient blanks, which get an AB lot number, and trip blanks, which get a TB lot number. Note that the blank itself does not need the lot number filled out because it will not qualify itself. The lot number is made up of the sampling date plus sample number of the field QC sample in the format of day, month, year, number. This equipment blank from January 15th, 2017 has an EB lot number of 15, that's the day, 01, the month, 17, the year, 01, the sample number. Let's add the second equipment blank from our example. It applies to the remaining samples that were taken, so we will select them and click the Add Field QC button. We'll say that the date is January 15th, 2017, the same date as last time, with a time of 4:57 p.m. We'll confirm that equipment blank is still selected from the dropdown and name it EB-2_Jan17. Select the analysis method. Click Insert Field QC Record. The second equipment blank has been added. We can see that when two equipment blanks are added on the same day, the interface will automatically update the sample number to 2 for the second blank. That distinguishes between the two equipment blanks. Samples that are to be qualified by the first equipment blank will have the EB lot number ending in 1. Samples to be qualified by the second equipment blank will have the EB lot number ending in 2. What if our team members had each entered their samples separately in two ChemField files? If the second equipment blank was in a different ChemField file, the system would not know to automatically update the sample number to 2, or EB lot number to end in 2. This would instead need to be done by hand, by typing into the boxes or using the Replace button. The Add Field QC button allows us to add ambient blanks, equipment blanks, and trip blanks to our file. However, there are other QC types that can be entered. Let's go to Reports, ADR and Submission Reports, Valid Value Lists. Choose Field Sampling as the data table. Choose SA code, which stands for sample code, as the data type. Click View Report. Here we can see all of the possible options, including ambient blank, equipment blank, and trip blank. Additional field QC options are field blank, material blank, and rinse blank. Let's say we want to add a field blank to this file. We can see the valid value for field blanks is FB. Let's go back to our file. Click the Add Rows button to add a new row. Like the rest of our QC samples, we'll use Field QC as the location ID. The field sample ID will be FB-1_Jan17. Sampling date will be January 15th, 2017, and sampling time will be 9 a.m. We'll say that our field blank is a water QC, so we will match the matrix of our equipment blanks and go with WQ. The sample type will be FB, which we looked up in the valid values report. Sample number will be 1. Sampling company, sampler initials, sampling method, COC ID, and lab will all match our other samples. Note that if we wanted one of the equipment blanks to qualify this field blank, we would populate the EB lot field. In this case, we will leave that field empty. Also note that the automated data review is not programmed to qualify other samples based on our field blank, which is why we do not have an FB lot option. Qualifiers based on the field blank will need to be applied by hand. For more information on validation, please refer to our Validation and Data Usability Assessment, DUA, tutorials playlist, which is linked in the description. Once we've finished updating the fields, we'll make sure to check the box for the correct method. As always, once we're finished with our ChemField file, we will click Save, then click Submit File to screen the file and submit the changes to the table. From here, we can certify the file. Don't forget to subscribe to the FUDSChem YouTube channel for more tutorial videos. All of the tutorials and playlists mentioned during this video are linked in the description below. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, feel free to contact us at fuds.support@synectics.net. Thank you.